Hello world, it's Curtis Potter with Boundless Inspiration. I'm going to quickly do this because I'm at this bridge that I saw, and it just so happened that it worked out perfect for the video I was wanting to do this week. In the series of The Underdog, I was going to talk about how we all start off at the same spot, right? And so we see this bridge. It's the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Bridge. And this sign right here, there's signs on both sides. Sorry about the cars. I'm about to try to get down below the bridge so it's not as loud. But it's Dr. MLK. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. See, this is the thing is, in this series of The Underdog, we all start off the same. We start off as a baby. We got to go through school. You know what? Some dropped out early and became millionaires. Some went to college. Excuse me. But some go to college and they drop out. And, their parents may give them grief. People may give them grief, their friends, their family, coworkers, so forth. They may get grief for it, but then you watch those people that dropped out of college become super successful as well. You see the people that never even finished high school, never went to college, became successful. So in this week of The Underdog, I just invite you to open your mind, because I heard this saying that nobody is on their deathbed and say, you know what? I'm glad I gave 80% of my life. I'm glad that I gave 60%. I'm glad that I just lived comfortably. Unfortunately, a lot of times people die with regrets. Like, I wish I woulda, I shoulda, I coulda. There were so many other people who did. And this bridge is dedicated to Dr. Martin Luther King. It's not about the bridge that's dedicated to him. I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of memorials that are dedicated to that man. It's not about the money that he made or somebody else made. Matter of fact, he got assassinated for doing what he loved and helping people realize their full potential and creating an environment for equal rights. And I just ask you, do you have something inside of you that can change the world? Not for the money, not for the bridges, not for the memorials, but could change lives. And at the end of their life, you feel fulfilled. Because I guarantee you, Dr. Martin Luther King, he was the underdog for a long time. Think about it. Some of his speeches, he had 100,000, however many people show up. And there was no social media like today. So, you're in a time in the world when you have just so many opportunities at your fingertips. But if you're playing small, or you're doubting yourself, or fearing yourself, or resisting to push yourself harder and to do more, even though you've got it inside you, you're selling yourself short. And I have to admit that I had a lot of people that tell me I couldn't based on my past, or they wanted to categorize why I was doing things, and I allowed that garbage to get in my head. And it's like Hitler. He said, if you tell a lie loud enough and long enough, you start to believe it yourself. And when it was some of the people that I believed in the most, and I put my everything into, I started to believe them. No, don't do this because, it might be for the money. It might be for the limelight. And I was like, no, you know what? It's like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He did it to change lives. And I've been in a place, that's why I created Boundless, because I knew that I had more potential in my life. And I knew that I was choosing to allow things to hold me back. I was bound. And I knew that if I pushed myself out of my comfort zone, that I would be boundless and that lives would change, because I made that decision to push myself harder. Those long nights, long days, tons of hours. When I started reading and I didn't want to, when I started going to counseling and I didn't want to, when I put down my addictions when they were a lot funner, smoking weed, drinking alcohol, sleeping around, going to strip clubs, looking at porn, all those things were fun, partying and not caring about becoming the best version of myself. They were fun. I wasn't getting attacked by the devil because he's like, there ain't no reason to fear this dude. But then when I started walking in my calling and going towards doing the right things and changing lives, that's when it actually got harder. See, I thought when I gave my life to God, it would get easier, but it didn't, because that's when the devil was like, oh no, I got to stop this dude. I've got to try to ruin his marriage. I got to try to ruin his friendships. I got to try to ruin everything that he put faith in so that he'll backslide and relapse. So he'll backslide and go back into the strip clubs. So he'll backslide and maybe walk out on his wife. Or you know what? If he's not going to, I will get in her head and have her walk out on him. I will have her stay addicted to those drugs and alcohols and talking to people on social media, walk out on her marriage, giving up on her family. Like, sometimes the devil won't even come at you. They'll come at other people to try to destroy your dreams. You know how many people that the devil tried to use to stop Dr. Martin Luther King? He got death threats. And I heard a speech from his son. He was on a podcast with Ed Milet, and he said, you know what? I remember as a kid where my dad sat us down and said, I've gotten multiple death threats that if I go do this speech today, they're going to kill me. And they may kill my family. So he got his family out of town and he went and did that speech. He said, I know that I have to do this speech. I have to. And he did. And he ended up getting killed. But look how many lives he still continues to change today because of making those decisions to not live at 80%. So I just invite you, to think about your life. Like, what would it look like if you gave 100% and you didn't procrastinate and you didn't make excuses? And even if you did, you gave yourself some grace and forgiveness. You not only forgave yourself so you could live at peace, but you forgave other people. And you realized all people are created equal. We may have different skin colors, different skills, different bad habits, different sins, different struggles, different trials, different tribulations, different lives, different decisions. But we're all created equal. And like it said on that sign, when one nation stands together. So what if today we all decided, let's all be boundless and take those steps we didn't want to take and move a step closer to being boundless, baby. You've got this. You've got it inside you. I believe in you. And I just pray and hope that you continue on this path with me. It's not easy, folks. It's hard. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, but it's going to be so worth it. I love you all, and I'm rooting for you. I know you can do it. You're worthy of it. You deserve it. You deserve the life on the other side of that. Like on the other side of those train tracks, the other side of that river. Look how beautiful this river is, by the way. That's God. Who else would make such an amazing creation like some of the stuff we see on earth? And if you look at what God wants for you, He sees your true potential. He sees what you're capable of, and I do too, and I know you too. Just think about it. Picture it of what your life would look like if you gave 100%, and your finances, your life, your relationship, your parenting, your job, your everything, your health, your knowledge, your mind, your soul, everything, your hobbies, your everything. It'd be like that sunlight that you see reflecting in the screen. It would just be bright. I love you all. I hope this helped. Like, share, comment, tags in the comment section. Put where you're going to give 100% because 80% just ain't cutting anymore. I love you all and have a great day. Be boundless.